Hi everybody, I'm dekutony, and this is yet another installment of Honest Talking, that one show where I just talk about stuff. Yeah, this time around, we're going to talk about a really cool little device that's really making the rounds as of late, and it's doing some really cool things in the realm of retro games and stuff. The MiSTer FPGA. This piece of hardware is like console uh, that emulates a game, but not really. It's more like it simulates it in a very specific way that it makes it it like very accurate to original hardware, and it's really cool. Unlike some people may want you to believe, aka the one guy that shall not be named. If you know, you know. But yeah, this thing is really cool. I wish I had one. As of right now, I don't really have one of those things. I don't have a MiSTer. So we're off to a great start with this video because today we're going to talk about my wish list for cores I want to see added to the MiSTer FPGA. Now, what is a core? Well, it's like a, a super duper accurate emulator, but instead of running on software, it's running on hardware. Something like that, I think. So, there's many cores already implemented on the MiSTer, but there's still quite a few cores I really want to see added, really want to see emulated. Quite a few of them are very obscure, and we will get to that. But for right now, I'm going to list all of the cores I want to see the most for the MiSTer. Hope you're ready. I hope you can endure this thing, because I know it's not easy to make a core. It's not easy to make all of those things. Before like listing my, I guess, top 10 cores, I'm going to go through all of my honorable mentions, aka the rest of the list I have here on this piece of paper. There's like over 40 or 50 different cores I listed here, so buckle up. Sorry, this is gonna take a while. I'm sorry if I know I don't know anything about how to program or make cores. I'm just some dude who likes retro gaming stuff and has no idea how hard it is to make one of these things. I'm just a guy that like, it will be cool, I think, and that's it. I have no other contributions to make. Honestly, I don't have any contributions to make. I just think it's a cool thing, and I want it. I want one of these things. Yeah, let's get to it. Alright, let's start the list with the Tiger LCD games. Remember those Tiger LCD games? Yeah, I think I had a couple of those a really long time ago when I was a kid. Yeah, a core for the Tiger LCD games. Stupid. Then we have the real, like the real deal, the Game King. You know the Game King, like a tiny little handheld. It's a pretty interesting little piece of hardware. I mean, very unimpressive graphics and all of that, made by some unknown company, I think. But a core FPGA core was made for the one of those analog consoles. I think like the NT Mini, I believe. So it's possible, and the big granddaddy of all handheld systems, the Milton Bradley Microvision. This thing is the very first handheld console to use cartridges, I think. So for the sake of its historical value, I think it should have a core for the MiSTer. Let's see here. I was gonna talk about the Pokemon Mini core, like a Pokemon Mini core, because I love the Pokemon Mini. Wouldn't you know that thing exists now? That's pretty cool. Imagine a two-player Pokemon Mini core. The PC FX, the Capcom CPS-free arcade board, the Atari Jaguar. Those are things I think those are being worked on, or at least theoretically confirmed to be possible. Maybe, I don't know the specifics. Oh, this is a neat one. The Dreamcast BMU. Not the Dreamcast. Not the Dreamcast. That would be a bit too much for the little MiSTer thing. Well, the Dreamcast BMU. I think that could be interesting. Also, the Pocket Station, which is like the PS1 equivalent to the BMU. The NEC PC 9098 computer. You know, the system that originally hosted all of those Tuhus, the Tojas, the anime shoot gal game, the color TV game from Nintendo, those Pong consoles that Nintendo made, the Panasonic 3DO. Yeah, I think that's possible. I mean, there's a PS1 and Saturn core, so probably not the Gizmondo or the Playdate. The Poquito. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. It's a little DIY, little handheld, or the Fumby, which is the smallest handheld I think I ever seen. Kinda cute, little keychain. Now this is a really weird one. The Pico 8 fictional, like, virtual platform. I don't know how that will work, but they put it on the list. The Magnavox Odyssey, like the first Odyssey, I don't know about that either. Oh, the Lipster. Do you know about the Lipster? Ooh, imagine a Lipster core. I think there's a TI-83 core. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I put it there in the list. Also, Adobe Shockwave is like the predecessor to Flash. I really don't know if that's possible. The Sega Pico and its successor, the Vina. The freaking V bootleg, the bootleg Wii console, the V. That would be hilarious. The LJN video art. What am I doing? The Cybico calculator, the 9,999 in one brick game. I think you know what that is, right? I have one of those in my drawer. Those weird, like, really tall LCD handhelds. these Chinese ones, it has some like a bunch of block games. The Sega Model 1 arcade board. I heard that maybe be possible, but I'm not 100% sure. The McDonald's Chicken Nugget LCD game. The Apple Pippin. The Arzone. The B-Smile. And the Mattel Hyperscan. Yeah, a FPGA core for the freaking Hyperscan. And I think that's it for the honorable mentions. Oh, by the way, I know there's a Neo Geo Pocket core being worked on. I hope that the successor, the Neo Geo Pocket Color, is also being worked on too. I think that it's kind of weird that maybe that's not in the cards right now. I don't know why, but please make a Neo Geo Color Pocket core, please. Kind of weird. It's only the monochrome one. Yeah, and oh yeah, the iPod, the original iPod. Don't know about that one either. And that's it. Those are all my honorable mentions for real this time. Yeah, really dumb. I know. Pretty excited for some of the cores being worked on, like the Nintendo 64 core. Like that's insane. That's even possible to begin with, but there you go. So now, after going through all that long list, it's time for the real meat and potatoes of this video. My top level priority non-specific number right now cores I want to see on the MiSTer. Let's get on with it. The first core I want to talk about is one from a handheld that still surprisingly doesn't have any cores in development yet, and that is one from Nintendo, the Virtual Boy. Like maybe it's because like it's rendering two screens at the same time and the MiSTer can handle it. I don't know what's going on there. It will be really cool to play Virtual Boy games with stunning accuracy in a very convenient like form on your TV. Also, I could play Virtual Boy Wario Land and Jack Bros and Nestor's Funky Bowling in the extra most bestest way possible. Like you could like actually play the games very accurately without dealing with the red and black picture that kind of hurts your eyes after too long. So we need Virtual Boy core for the MiSTer, or even the newly announced MARS FPGA. Looks promising, that thing. Very expensive. Yeah, Virtual Boy. Yay. Okay, after a few months of not recording for this video, now it's time to keep going. And sorry, I sound louder. Like nobody's home right now. It's pretty rare that happens, so I can finally talk normally. Yeah, so MiSTer Core number 2. MiSTer Core number 2 is the Tiger Gamecom. Yes, yeah, seriously, the Tiger Gamecom. Wouldn't it be wouldn't it be hilarious that the Tiger GameCom could be play? You could play the GameCom on your MiSTer or your MARS FPGA or whatever. Yeah. For the uninitiated, the Tiger GameCom is a handheld console made by Tiger Electronics, the same people who made all of those crappy LCD games back in the 80s and 90s. In fact, they're still making, like, re-releasing those little handhelds for some reason, I don't know. But the GameCom was like a fully dedicated handheld console that used cartridges. In fact, the original model, you could insert 2 cartridges at the same time. It also had a touch screen and some sort of internet functionality. Like in a few ways, it was pretty ahead of its time. So it will be cool to preserve it in a more playable form than it is, because this handheld sucks to play like on the actual system because of the screen being so bad, and the games, despite also being so bad, I think they need to be preserved in a more playable form. Now you may be asking, but isn't there an emulator for this console already? And yeah, you'd be right, but those emulators are really old or haven't been worked on for a really long time, and they are not all that accurate as you would like to. Like, the sound emulation is still like really off, and in the case of MAME, well, I tried to play the recently dumped Castlevania Symphony of the Night prototype, and it didn't run accurately at all. It was really rough. So being able to play all of those stupid games that suck balls to play, but hey, it's for the sake of preservation to play these games more accurately. I think it would be cool and kind of necessary to being able to play those games in a fairly well, in a good form, like a good way to play those stupid games, So yeah, that's my second core I want to see on the MiSTer, the GameCom. I suppose nobody else is asking for this, but there you go. Sticking with handhelds, core number 3 would be the Nokia n-gage. Now, the Nokia n-gage is more of like a phone that can play games. It was a system released by Nokia, obviously, like 2003 originally, and it was a phone that looked like this, and you make phone calls like that. Yeah, it wasn't a successful platform, if you could guess, but it still had quite a few interesting games released for it. The original models of it in the mid 2000s had a few interesting games like Crash Nitro Kart, which is a unique version compared to the Game Boy Advance version, and a few others. But then in I think 2008, 2009, they revived the Nokia n-gage because their phones use their own operating system called the Symbian OS, I think, and they revived the n-gage brand. Some people call it the n-gage 2.0 store, and those have their own library of games. Like for example, Bounce Boing Voyage or Bounce Touch, as some platforms call it for some reason, some phones. I don't know what's up with that, but it was made by the same people who made Angry Birds. Yeah, before they made Angry Birds, they made this little 3D platformer starting a ball with eyes, with googly eyes, and I always wanted to play it complete. I only was able to play the demo. So yeah, it would be pretty cool to be able to play those old mobile games on the big screen. I know there's an emulator for the Nokia n-gage, both the old one and the 2.0 games, but another platform option would be neat, especially if it's done accurately. I don't know how doable this is, but you know, I will love to play those old games, old mobile games on the MiSTer, you know. And speaking of mobile games, next core on my list is the J2ME, the old Java-based mobile games. Now this is probably going to be a bit more complicated than the n-gage because the n-gage is a dedicated platform, while the J2ME is all over the place in terms of platforms and all the different resolutions and how different platforms take advantage of different hardware, and it's all way too complicated. It could be like really complicated to figure out, but you know, I'm just throwing it out there. It would be really neat to be able to play those old J2ME games on a very big screen with stunning, hopefully, accuracy. So yeah, that's my core number 3 and 4. Now the next core I want to talk about is the Philips CDI. You know the one with the stupid Hotel Mario and the Zelda games, all the classic YouTube poop games. Yeah, that's why I want it. That's why I want this core on the MiSTer. Being able to play the Hotel Mario in an accurate form on the same platform. I can play actual cool retro games and systems. You know, it would be cool and funny at the same time, because who doesn't want to play Hotel Mario on the MiSTer, right? Right? Okay, so next core. And oh boy, this one is a doozy. The Sibo! The Sibo! The Sibo! What? You don't know what the Sibo is? Can't believe it. I thought you were better than this. But fine, I'll explain. The Sibo is a very obscure console released in 2009, mostly exclusively in Brazil and Mexico. It's a really weird platform using the Brew operating system, and it has its own library of games. For example, it has a really cool version of Double Dragon and other weird games like Action Hero 3D Wild Dog and a weird Crash Bandicoot Nitro Kart 3D port, and I think it has a JRPG and a bunch of sports games, and yeah, that's it. The reason I want to see a core for the Sibo, a Sibo core for the MiSTer, is that even though I don't think it can be done, I don't think it's possible on the MiSTer, maybe on the MARS FPGA. But the main reason why I want to see an FPGA core of the Sibo is that trying to play all of those games are like really difficult. Like currently there's no publicly available emulator for the system, and even though it's one emulator is currently being worked on, is still ways off. And I want to play some of these games, like Double Dragon. That looks like a really cool game, genuinely. And there's no real other way to play it other than owning a Civo, which is really rare and expensive. So, and I just want a more available way to play the Civo, the Civo game library. You know, it would be cool. I'm not holding my breath for any Civo core development for the foreseeable future, but you know, it's nice to dream, isn't it? And speaking of dreaming, you know, we have the next core, which I don't think is gonna happen, at least on the MiSTer, the Nintendo DS slash the DSi. Now, the DS is a system that needs no introduction. 150 something million units sold. Nintendo's most successful platform of all time. Has the touchscreen thing, the microphone, and all of that stuff, and insanely amazing library of games. You all know the drill. But the problem with the DS is that it's already been confirmed that it's currently not possible to make a core of it for the MiSTer. Yes, I think it's because like the MiSTer is not powerful enough. It doesn't have enough memory to make a DS core work well. Not to mention the DSi. But I'm mentioning this platform because you know this is actually the one core I really want to see the most. The FPGA community already blew me away with the Nintendo 64 core, so I want to see it happen again, but with my favorite video game platform of all time. Because emulating the DS is in a decent position right now, but it could be a little better, more accurate, you know, especially the DSi side of things. So hopefully one day when a more powerful FPGA system comes, I can finally see people playing Club Penguin Herbert's Revenge on an accurate FPGA console. You know, that's the dream. That's what dreams are made of. Okay, that maybe that's just me. You know, I want to play Club Penguin DS on an FPGA console. You know, trying to record footage, good quality footage of a DS, of a real DS, is a pain in the ass. It's really stressful and hard and expensive, and you just want to, you know, it will be really convenient, you know. So yeah, my most wanted core is the DSi. So let's just finish off with the last core I want to talk about in this video, which is less of a serious request, but it's still kind of serious because I genuinely want to see this, but you know, let's get into it. And now, for my last MiSTer Core request that I have for today would be, and I kid you not, the Jack Specific plug and plays. A core for the Jack Specific plug and plays. You heard that right. I'm really serious, by the way. I really want to see this happen. Like, could you imagine being able to play accurately in HD or RGB or whatever the freaking SpongeBob plug and play, like would you move the characters with SpongeBob's nose? Wouldn't that be hilarious? And I'm talking about the original SpongeBob plug and play from I think 2003, not the revisions that actually not the same and have different games. You know, the original one that's still to this day not preserved. You can't even emulate it in MAME right now as I'm recording this. So, you know, being able to play it in good video quality would be nice, you guys. And not just the SpongeBob one, but there's a bunch of other Jack specific plug and plays, like the Nickelodeon one that has the weird like game key cartridge on the back. That's been emulated in MAME like a few years now, but being able to play it accurately in HD on an FPGA system like the MiSTer would be nice, you know? Playing Cash Dash in the best way possible would be the dream, man. You know, Cash Dash, there's a whole documentary about it.
They released a game, Cash Dash.
You know, there's also the Dragon Ball Z plug and play. There's the Nickelodeon Nicktoons Summer Camp plug and play that's still not preserved either, and a bunch of others. Those are the ones off the top of my head. There's a Disney one with the cool Scrooge McDuck theme song. Yeah, yeah. There's a whole bunch of plug and plays from Jack Specific that they made over the years. You see, seeing all of those being able to be played accurately in HD with an actually good controller would be great. You know, I'm pretty nostalgic for these little plug and plays, like the Namco ones and stuff. There's also a bunch of, there's so many of them, man. Many of them are still not preserved. You can't emulate them yet in MAME or anything. You just have to buy ones from eBay or something to play them in crappy composite video. So I humbly request the FPGA community that you could, and the MAME community too, and please keep preserving more of these plug and plays, please. It's been a few years since you last did that. MAME devs, please preserve more of them. Want to play them in a more convenient way. And there you have it. Those are all my MiSTer FPGA cores I want to see the most, or MARS FPGA, or whatever, the analog pocket, whatever. Just man, this FPGA stuff is so cool. Like being able to play all of these systems, computers, handhelds, consoles, and even arcade games accurately on one singular platform is so nice, man. Like I know you can just emulate most of these platforms on PC, but I don't have a good PC to emulate them well, you know? Like I have Dolphin, the Dolphin emulator on my computer, and it barely even runs like at 15 FPS. That's how broke I am, man. And look, I can't even afford any of those FPGA platforms, but I just think they're so cool, man. Don't listen to the people that say otherwise. It's a really passionate community, and I love retro games, so you know it's right up my alley. If I could even afford any of those things. So yeah, that's all I really have to say. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something. I certainly did. But I'll see you on the next video, whenever that is. See you next time. God bless. Have a nice day.